Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? This is Jeff from BKJ Mag TV, and this is the BKJ Mag Podcast Experience coming to you live from Brooklyn. Tonight, it's a very exciting night. The New York Knicks finally won Game 1 against the Pacers. Let me set the scene for y'all. 11 years ago, the Knicks took on the Pacers. They had home court advantage. The Knicks finished number 2 in the Eastern Conference, and Pacers finished number 3. And if you go on YouTube, you can watch the game on YouTube. The Pacers stole Game 1 from the New York Knicks when Melo was playing. It was a shocking loss. The Knicks would go on to win Game 2. Pacers would win Game 3. Knicks won Game 4, I believe. No, they lost Game 4. They lost 3 and 4. Knicks won Game 5, and the Knicks lost Game 6. So the Knicks only won 2 games in the series, and the Pacers won all 4. So the Knicks finally did something 11 years later, and they were able to win Game 1 against the Pacers. Now, the Knicks and Pacers have a legendary rivalry. They've met each other many times in the 80s, the 90s, and a little bit in the 2000s. The Knicks were like a struggling team in the 2000s. But in the 90s, if you go back to the Eastern Conference Finals 1994, the Knicks beat the Pacers in 7 games to go to the NBA Finals. If you go to the semifinals in 1995, the Pacers beat the Knicks when Patrick missed the finger roll in Game 7. And I think the Pacers beat the Knicks in 98 in 5 games. The Knicks beat the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. And the last time the Knicks were in the Eastern Conference Finals was in 2000, and they lost in 6 games to the Pacers. So you could see that the rivalry is there. It's definitely like back and forth. They had a legendary rivalry, and then it was reignited in 2013, and then the Pacers beat them in 6 games. And now, 11 years later, 2024, they face each other again, and this time the Knicks, who I was a little concerned, but they were able to prevail, and they beat the Pacers at Madison Square Garden on Game 1 of the semifinals. My man Stephon Marbury was in the house. It was lit. Marbury was in the house, big time lit. Latroy Sprewell, John Starks, Patrick Ewing, Carmelo Anthony, Stoudemire. Everybody that you know as the New York Knicks was in the house. From the past to the present, everybody was in the Garden. It was a big reunion, and they were there to celebrate the Knicks win Game 1. And Jalen Bronson, my man Jalen Bronson, went off. He had this was his 4th straight 40-point game. This man just is playing lights out. He's doing everything he can to really lead this team into victory. And he has that New York mentality. And I think when he came into New York, people were saying that was a bad signing. I looked at it. I knew that was not a bad signing because he played well in Dallas when they went all the way to the Western Conference Finals. So Jalen Bronson is no stranger to a conference finals. He's been to the conference finals, lost in 5 games to the Golden State Warriors, who ended up winning the championship. So, he's not familiar with he is familiar with the process. And David, Dante, Josh Hart, Obi, they all came together, and OG Anunoby basically fits like a glove on that team. The trade they got from Toronto for RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly. This team is gelling. I like this team. They're doing they're playing well together. They're playing together, and it's something that you want to see. Definitely something you want to see, and it's good for New York. It's definitely good for New York. I'll tell you this right now, to get a playoff ticket to watch the Knicks play is ridiculous. The price is ridiculous. Good luck, whoever could afford it to go to those games. Only the high rollers and the shot callers is gonna be at the Garden. And honestly, that's what I love about the Garden. I've been to playoff games at the Barclays Center. It's calm, but it's not like the Garden. Garden is just in Manhattan, in New York City. It's a tremendous feeling. It's a tremendous experience. It's so lit and it's just so live. And yeah, hopefully one day the Barclays Center becomes like that. Moving forward, the Timberwolves also destroyed the Denver Nuggets, the defending champions. I was shocked that it was a blowout. I know Gobert was out for personal reasons. I thought the Timberwolves were going to struggle without Gobert, but they showed that their team is interconnected. I mean, they struggled in the end to find some type of offense because I did have them scoring over 110, to basically scoring 111 points, and their offense looked anemic at points where they struggled to score points against Denver. But overall, the Antman, Anthony Edwards, he showed out. Everybody on that team just played together, and they showed, that they won it. The Timberwolves has not made it this far since 2004. They beat the Kings in the semifinals. They went to the conference finals against the Lakers. Obviously, the Lakers are not going to be there because they lost to Denver. And Anthony Edwards said that he was going to avenge LeBron. He was going to avenge LeBron and have the best games of his life, of his career, of his NBA career, and beat the Nuggets. And then the Minnesota fans were chanting Timberwolves in 4. So let's see if he can deliver that. We'll see. I don't know, but we will see. We'll see what happens in that instant. Like, is he going to keep his promise? Is the Timberwolves going to beat them in 4? I don't think they're going to beat them in 4. I think that's a little bit I think that's a little bit, too much. But I don't think it's going to happen. But I'll tell you this, though. Timberwolves is really showing it out that they can do this. And last year, they got beaten by 5 games by Denver in the first round. And I think Timberwolves are ready to pay back that favor. So let's see what happens. Let's see. It was a good night. So it was a good night in the playoffs. Let's see what happens in the next couple of games. We'll definitely talk about it. Can't wait to talk about it. Kyrie and Luka Doncic versus the OKC Thunder. What will Shai Gilgeous-Alexander do? We'll find out. Definitely, we will find out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the BKJ Mac Podcast Experience. Peace, love, always one.